Burn and brew with Coven true, and glory shall be thine.
Hey friends, it's Jasmine, and I hope that you all are doing well. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and supporting me and this channel. It really means a lot to me. And if this is your first time here, hi. I'm Jasmine. I am a practicing witch and I talk about it here on the internet. So if traditional folkloric witchcraft is kind of your thing, that's very much what I'm into. But I talk about other stuff here as well. All of my links are going to be down below in the description if you want to check me out elsewhere. Today's video is going to be kind of more like a video essay, if you will, where I'm going to be touching on some topics that I think are cool and relevant to traditional craft and my practice that I just want to have dialogue about. So without any further ado, we're just going to jump right into it now.
Hello, everyone. I hope that you are having a beautiful day, evening, night, whatever it is, whenever you are watching this. Recently, I made a top 10 herb video that was inspired by one of my homework assignments in the RTA, the Red Thread Academy, which, if you're not familiar with that, it is the online American folkloric traditional witchcraft academy that I have really been enjoying. I'm currently in my third year of the 3-year program. One of the assignments was to pick 10 herbs that we would have in our go-to witches arsenal to connect with those plant allies. And there's another assignment that covers crystals, which is inspiring this video here now. I do have to give a little bit of a disclaimer in the fact that when I first started practicing witchcraft, which is about over a decade ago, I was really into just purchasing everything I possibly could that I think I might have needed to practice witchcraft. And at that time, I was also working at a brick and mortar metaphysical store. And so I had access to a lot of crystals. So throughout my early years in practicing, I began just buying crystals and almost kind of hoarding them, but without really having any use for them outside of them looking pretty and adding a nice sort of ambiance or energy to my home decor. I went through a period of time where I purged a lot of witchy stuff that I realized I was just collecting, but it didn't actually have any real use. And a big part of that purge involved crystals. And still to this day, I'm not a huge crystal witch kind of girly, but I do see the value in working with natural stones and minerals, even glass. So I've come up with my top 10 list, also per request from some of you. In my herb video, I said if you wanted to hear my top 10 list of crystals, I'd be happy to make it. So here it is. The first stone that I have on my list would have to be obsidian. I have always been drawn to it. It's also in my TikTok handle, 3 obsidian eyes, if you want to catch me over there. I love the rich darkness that obsidian carries and that it is actually volcanic glass, so maybe not quite like a crystal. No light passes through the obsidian, and that is such a powerful stone for scrying, and so many mirrors are made out of this material. I also find the stone to be very protective, transformative, as well as symbolic of the creative and destructive energy of the sacred volcano that it is associated with. I think for my next one, it would have to be clear quartz. And arguably, this could also be in the top 1 spot as it's so versatile. I recommend clear quartz to anyone who is wanting to explore more geomancy and working with stones. There is belief that a clear quartz can be programmed or imbued or enchanted to match whatever your intention is. I also love coupling it with obsidian for that light in the darkness representation on my altars. The next stone would have to be tiger's eye. For starters, she's gorgeous. She's thought to be a stone of courage and charisma, as well as a protective stone. I have a tiger's eye stroke stone or worry stone and a tiger's eye necklace that I have worn when I needed a little extra boost for public speaking or I'm having uncomfortable but unavoidable situations for the stone to bring me strength. to find the power I need to get through it, and to do it with charisma, tact, and grace. Next up on our list would have to be lapis lazuli. It's another really gorgeous stone, and the rich blues are alluring. I associate this stone with Ishtar and the Ishtar Gate, said to be made of this stone, for it connects me to my ancestors, the Fertile Crescent, and the very Queen of Heaven herself. The next one would be opalite, which really appears to the 90s baby in me. I know that this stone is technically man-made, but that's never stopped me from finding it to be beneficial in my craft. I feel this stone to be very much of a psychic energy amplifier, and one that's very uplifting to my personal mood. Next would be sapphire, which is my birthstone. It's very much associated with royalty and wealth. When my mother was pregnant with me, she actually wore a sapphire birthstone towards the end of her pregnancy, and later on my 16th birthday, she gifted this to me, which sort of makes it sort of a Cthulhu in a way, and it connects me to my mother and to my very literal bloodline. For me, this stone is very personal as it represents my mother and reminds me of where I come from, and that I too, like the sapphire, am a sovereign queen. On my list would be moonstone, which of course has to be on here. I think moonstone would probably make a lot of people's lists. This is another stone that I wear often, and I have for years. Moonstone I've often heard called as the goddess stone, and it represents all things of the lunar variety to me. Again, we're talking psychic abilities, illusions, glamour, and the divine feminine. I also really love right, which apparently is related. So I guess I just love all moonstone varieties. Next would be selenite. It's a salt rock and gives me sort of the energy of the earth and the moon, as above, so below coded, if you will. Selenite is thought to be a cleansing and charging stone and often placed in the middle of crystal grids because of it. Selenite also ties to Selene, the moon goddess, and I keep towers of it around my house, not just for aesthetics, but also for cleansing, charging, and warding. This then takes us to amethyst, which is another stone that I've always been drawn to, as I'm sure many of you are as well. For me, like obsidian, I feel a spiritual connection with this stone, and I wish I had more jewelry actually that incorporated it. The Greeks believed that it was a stone to prevent drunkenness and promote a clear mind, and who doesn't need that? I feel like this stone can also be used to amplify psychic energy as well as help one ground themselves. Now, last on my list would be the hag stone, coming in at number 10. And I have only recently started working with this more intimately, as it does connect with my specialty as a votary of Aradia. The hag stone is used in the Gospel of Witches to hold a spirit known as the Red Goblin, a classic witch's spirit familiar. It's made into a pendant and worn at the Tragunda to empower the stone and feed the spirit that dwells within it. That is going to cover all 10 stones that would be in my witchy top 10 crystal grab bag. I would love to hear which of these stones do you resonate with, how do you use them, if at all, and what other stones would you pick to be in your top 10 crystal witches grab bag.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you like this style of video, let me know and I'll keep making them. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see more of me, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, friends, blessed be, and I will see you in hell. Bye.
Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road. Circle sewn with fate, unlock thy hidden